take you through. So the piece that's really critical here is that when you become a business owner and you start looking at what is your ultimate mission, the ultimate mission is to create value. Now, for all of the employees here, is there any employee here that if you really dig deep down inside, a little voice is saying, I want to work for a company that's flat-ass broke. I don't want the owner to make a dime. I want the owner to drive the junkiest car that you have ever seen. You know, as an employee, and I've been an employee during my career, I want to work for a company that's really healthy, has money to invest in our future, has money to help us grow, has money to help us expand. That means creating value. So you're all with me. Do we have the picture clear here? So your mission when you start the business, and even where you are today, should be really creating value. All right. Now, my battle cry, and I can't even tell you when this thing started, but a number of years ago, I started using this no compromise line, and it stuck. How many of you heard me use that before? All right. Hey, thanks, John. All right. But no compromise is a mode of thinking in business. And we're going to drive 4 business outcomes. I'll get to them in just a second. But the no compromise piece is critical. All right? When I say no compromise and no compromise thinking in business, these are the areas that I'm talking about. You don't have this in your notes, so if you just, this is super stuff I just added before we did the class. But first, team. Everyone's responsible for growth. Now, as I'm getting into this, and we talk about culture, and we talk about building a sense of urgency, you can't take a business that has a culture that is stagnant and say, let's do teamwork. You can't take a culture where individuals within the business are more worried about what they do and what their own little micro business is and say, guys, we're all going to be a team. Yeah, I'll do team as soon as I'm done with my stuff. You know, that's not teamwork. All right? So team, everyone's responsible for growth. And I'll give you the easiest definition of that. In your service business, you sell time. So in your service business, teamwork means everyone's responsible for every hour the company has available for sale. Agreed? Front desk should be doing all it can to fill up the hours on the book. Technical staff should be doing all they can to fill up the hours on the book. If you have a technician working on a client and that particular client can use color or a spa service or any service that you have to offer, and if you don't have the time to do it, it better get done today by someone else. We do not let the client leave. That's an inconvenience. Well, if it's going to happen, they have to come back to me. That's not teamwork. You with me on that? All right. The next one is true leadership. Now, I could do days on this alone, but let me just kind of sum it up in a short, simple piece. You have to get over your emotional blockages. I'll define emotional blockages. How many of you have ever had to walk up to an employee that was late and remind them, or actually define the fact that they were late? All right? So you walk up to the employee and, hey, how you doing? You know, and you didn't address the issue. All right? Have you had a behavior issue in your company? Oh, yeah. All right? And you know that if you have to go and do that conversation, it's going to be uncomfortable for you because you're anticipating confrontation. You're viewing it as confrontational. It's not. It's business. It's leadership. It needs to be addressed. All right? The leadership piece doesn't mean you have to be dictatorial, but there needs to be an open flow of information. And if it compromises the customer experience, or if it compromises teamwork, or it compromises revenues, profitability, and compromising profitability also has to do a lot with product wastage. So anything that may compromise the business, if you hold back and don't address it, then you're not really practicing true leadership, and you're compromising your business and deflating the value of your company. Do you see how these pieces are starting to tie together? All right, the next one in no compromise is know your numbers. How many of you hate numbers? Get them up high. Get them up real high. Ready? Get over it. In business, your scorecard is your balance sheet, income statement, statement of cash flow. Those things are pieces that you can't compromise. And if you're uncomfortable with the numbers, you need to get comfortable. We're not doing a numbers class today. I have a few benchmarks I'll show you in just a little bit. But truly, 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 you have to be connected to your numbers. I get, my eyes roll back in my head when someone calls up and says, I need help. What's the matter? We're losing money. I can't make payroll. I don't know what we're going to do. My credit card debt is through the roof. What'd you do in sales in 04? Oh, my accountant's got that information.